Today we're talking about wood. Right, I just want to give you a few pointers on timber. There's two main things to remember when you're buying timber. You've got unseasoned timber and seasoned timber. Unseasoned timber, things like this green oak, which is, as the name suggests, it's unseasoned, which means it's not been kiln dried out. So you will get movement in it, and you will get shakes and splits appearing as it does dry out. So it's not ideal for furniture and things like that. And also things like railway sleepers that you buy for your garden and things like that, they're also unseasoned. So they're alright for out in the garden where it doesn't matter, but I wouldn't recommend them for furniture and things like that unless you're going for a really, really rustic look. Seasoned timbers are things like this Quebec, redwood pine, and some oak here I've got. These are all seasoned, which means they've been kiln dried. I mean, the Quebec is a very, very dry wood, so it's very low moisture content, only about 9% moisture content, which means you get very little movement or shrinkage in it. The redwood pine, you will get a little bit of movement, but not really much. This is ideal for general joinery work, sort of doors, windows. You can use it for furniture. It's not ideal for outside unless it's really well treated. For softwood timber outside, you're probably only looking at a few years until the water gets into it and it'll start and rot. Then you've got oak. Oak is getting more and more popular, but it's very expensive. At the side of pine, you're probably looking at about 2 to 3 times the price of pine for oak. So it is a better wood, of course, but because it's a better wood, it's an hard wood, so it's going to cost you more money. It tends to be knot free. You will get the odd knot in oak, but very rare. It tends to be mostly knot free. Whereas in the redwoods, you will get knots, some dead knots where they're not drop out. So that's something to think about when you're choosing your wood for your project. What we use mainly here at Live With Wood, we tend to use this Quebec, which originates from Canada. We buy it straight from Canada now. It all comes from sustainable sources, but as I say, it's very dry, so you get very little movement in it, and you do get a lovely rustic effect on it. Even though it's not rough to the touch, it does look very rustic. So that's just a few pointers. So as I say, if you're doing furniture or woodwork that matters, that you don't want to move and warp and twist, make sure you use a seasoned timber, ideally hardwood if you can, but if your budget doesn't stretch to it, then Quebec or redwood pine. Make sure it's a joinery quality redwood pine and you'll be fine. If you're using something out in the garden, or you're making a gazebo in the garden, or just border sort of retaining walls and things out of timber, then unseasoned timber's fine. Hope that helps you and gives you a few pointers. Please subscribe below and watch out for the next video.